Hello everybody. Just wanted to go through a really quick tutorial on how I've set up my podcasting setup with my Behringer X1204 USB mixer. Now I've looked at a lot of tutorials online before I think I figured this out, and I do not have the background of a audio engineer, so this actually there wasn't really anything like this on there. So I had to go through a lot of forums and everything, but just a quick setup. Most of my interviews I do via Skype, and I record on Ecamm call recorder just with the USB mic plugged in. And for the mic, I've got an Audio Technica ATR 2100. So I'm going to back this up here. I've just got my setup here, and I guess I'll just go through the inputs one by one. And mainly I'm making this for myself as well, just so I can remember how to set it up, because I just tested it and it works great. So the ATR, I've got it set up with one of these XLR cords. This is going right into mic 1 right here. So you can see that going in. That's first and foremost. For me, I've got the gain set at about, I don't know if that's 2 o'clock. I put this guy right in the middle here. I haven't played with the EQ settings because I just got this up. But for the mix minus, I'm going to be using auxiliary 1, so I've got that turned up as well. And then my fader on this, I've got a little higher because I think, for the Audio Technica, I've noticed you have to get really close to the microphone, and even still, it comes through a little soft on the volume. So, and I apologize for this being shaky. I'm just kind of doing this on a whim here. So that puts the microphone into the mixer. Let's look at the next thing I have set up, which is my mix minus. So for this one, I'm going in line 7 and 8 here. This is coming out and going into, I'll follow it here. That's going into my my headphone jack. That's line 7 and 8. I've got a right and left phono jack. That's going into my headphone jack on a MacBook Air. Now, if you notice, I don't have an input and output on this. So, in order to get that audio going back in, I actually had to set up a separate one using this Griffin iMic. So basically, this one is for my microphone to go out of the mixer into Skype. That's got to come in here so that the other person on the end of the call can hear it. But then in order to get their audio into the mixer, that's when we have to do the mix minus. For that, let's see. I actually just took it's a bifurcated cable, but what I did was use this aux1, it's FX1. Some of them say FX, some of them say aux. I just used my black cable on that one. The other one's dangling free. I've got that going in to this right here, which is the iMic in, and then that's a USB connection. I've also got it set on mic instead of line. Don't know if that makes a difference. Really, that was the first setting I tried, and it worked, so kudos. And then basically that allows the mix minus portion, that allows the other person on Skype to be able to hear my microphone, but not theirs, because if you look, I was on channel 7/8. I've got this guy auxiliary turned down, so any audio going out of the mixer, if I turn this up, the user would be able to hear their own voice, and I don't want that for feedback reasons. So that's off. Basically, anything else I use is off. This I was experimenting a little bit. That can be off right now, but if you want to put like an iPhone or some other device for other sound effects, and you want the listener to hear it, that would have to be up, but I don't have anything plugged in there right now. So with this off, I can turn this fader up, and that's the volume I'm hearing coming out of the mixer into my headphones for the other person I'm talking to. And you can see everything I'm doing, I'm listening to, monitoring on headphones. I just have an adapter here for some earbuds. These are just going over here to these guys. I really need a better set of headphones, but that's what I'm listening to my interview with. And then my master fader is right here. So if I'm tapping on my Audio Technica, you know you're getting some voice right there. Right now I'm using a different mic plugged into my phone just to record this. So that's why you're not seeing the fader, or I'm sorry, the little EQ going up and down here. One thing that I noted, in order to make this work for this particular mixer, there's this, let's see if I can get steady, 2TR/USB to main right here. That has to be pushed in, otherwise it wasn't working. Now I've been trying to get this to work for weeks. I found this on a forum, so thank you to whoever posted that. I'll probably put a link for that particular post in wherever I post this on YouTube or whatever. So thank you, that was huge help. And then last but not least, the other thing I have going here, let me cross over. Just as a backup, I've got 2-track USB output. I've got these plugged in to my Zoom recorder. So as a backup, that's in the line in for that. I don't know if you can see that. But line in for the recorder, that's just as a backup in case Ecamm call recorder doesn't work, or if I want to choose to shut that down, I can just use this input and back everything up on my Zoom recorder. So like I said, this really took me a long time to figure out. I bought this before I started podcasting back in July. It is now, what are we in, March of the next year? Ecamm call recorder works great, but I wanted the ability to expand a little in case I have in-person guests. I could just put additional microphones there. I just didn't know how to use it. The instructions that came with it weren't great. It's an excellent mixer.